Hello everyone, my name is Greg Bennett and welcome to this product session. Today we're going to feature the Greg Bennett Delta Series bass, and I'm literally just going to take you from the tip of the headstock right down to the end pin. This has been a really fun project because a lot of the products we've done before in the bass area were very sort of traditional, and this was a chance to really tap into some more sophisticated engineering and really make a bass that just screams efficiency. But again, starting at the headstock, I always like to point out that this is a part of the guitar that is, from a performance standpoint, is usually overlooked, and there's some tremendous benefits in just size and angle and simple things like this that really add to the performance of the string. You'll notice I use a really small headstock, and by reducing that size, I also reduce the resonant surface, the resonant area, which means that with less area vibrating or resonating, it's stealing, literally, it's stealing less energy off the string. So you quite literally get a hotter string with more punch and longer sustain. And also, when you couple that size with a lot of headstock angle, in other words, a lot of back angle, which gives you a whole lot of pressure, string pressure on the nut, which also improves the string performance. But when you couple that with a smaller headstock and reduce the distance of the string from the nut to the gear, almost exponentially, you further increase that contact pressure, and it just makes the string sing. The attack is just truly amazing. And also, you'll notice that the gears converge rather than flare, and that's really nice because you get a sort of a straight string path through the nut, along with all those performance benefits. These guitars have a really compact die-cast sealed machine head. I think it's a 14:1 ratio, which really gives you some fine, accurate tuning. You'll also notice, and this may seem like a kind of a small point, but we always use laser cut gold foil. And when you see that guitar in a stand with that gold logo floating in the finish, it really adds to the richness of the guitar. We also use graphite nuts on these instruments, which are really wonderful because the consistency of graphite is really nice for the tone. It doesn't come off sterile, but it also is a little bit self-lubricating, so the string travels really nicely through the nut. But moving on to the neck, this is a neck through the body, as you can see, and it's a 5-piece maple and rosewood, and that laminate gives you the most amazing sense of rigidity. So even though it, of course, has a wonderful truss rod that's fully adjustable, that laminate just gives you, shores up that neck, makes it rigid, makes the platform that the string sits on a bit stiffer, and again, that neck isn't hanging out there acting like a big old shock absorber taking all the energy off the string. It's also a satin finish. The whole bass is satin, but on the neck that gives a nice soft feel. Very little drag on your hand. We use rosewood fingerboard and we polish it. You'll notice nickel silver frets. That's sort of a medium-sized fret, which feels great. But we use a rosewood fingerboard, which is really durable, and a very hardwood, which also enhances the string performance, the brightness and punch and so on. There's a large radius that we use, which gives the feel of the neck a little bit of a round, a little bit of a camber, but just a very comfortable feel. You'll notice offset pearl dots, and I love this because it gives the guitar a nice look that's a bit unique without being the least bit gaudy. So continuing on, you'll notice that you have a full 24 fret exposure, and that's one of the wonderful things about doing a neck through the body type of style where the neck literally runs from the headstock under the bridge. That rigidity enhances performance, and it's taken up even a full notch more when you run to the entire length of the instrument, because literally the bridge pieces are sitting in the neck, so to speak. So you get full access up there. The large cutaway also gives us the ability to sort of shift the center of gravity for the bass backwards, and you'll notice it just is really, it hangs on a strap. It's really wonderful. You get none of that neck forward feel. We utilize in this the Seymour Duncan, or I should say Duncan design pickups, which are just fantastic. You get just tremendous tonal capabilities that are crisp and clean and still warm. They're not harsh, they're not biting. So you, again, get the absolute max out of the bass, tone-wise and performance-wise. And the controls on that, by the way, are volume. There's a pan pot between the two pickups so you can blend them. And then there's a treble bass cut boost, these two knobs down here. The saddle pieces are also really nice. Rather than a full bridge, they're individual saddle pieces that are isolated. And for people that want a lot of clarity and articulation, a lot of definition, it's especially nice because you don't get bleed through, or you don't get as much from one string to the next. You actually get a bit more, I guess articulation is the best word. So individual pieces. On this particular bass, tone-wise, we use a flame maple top, which just to me is just beautiful. The lights on stage catch that. It's magnificent. But it's sort of a sandwich affair where the front and back are maple, and then we have a centerpiece that's mahogany, which adds a lot of warmth to it. And then it's just sort of, you've got this walnut piping that divides the two. And again, you can see that neck through the body. Okay, another really cool feature on this bass, which is very, very small in the grand scheme of things, but people really do love it, is that the battery compartment is separate. You don't have to go pulling off your back plate and exposing all the controls. So that's really nice. And we also do it in sort of a wood combination that reverses this. You can get it in a walnut top with the same mahogany sandwich in the middle, but with the maple piping as well. And both those woods, the maple and the walnut, are very hard woods, and they do throw off a beautiful high end, a very sort of sweet high end. So they give very similar sounds, but the aesthetic is really kind of different. So this bass is clearly about performance, and traditional bass players love it because they're just not used to getting quite that clarity or punch, which this does really enhance. And the slap guys love it because there's plenty of room to get under the string and up from the pickup. So again, I can't wait for you guys to try this in the store, plug it into your favorite bass amp, and I think you'll just have a field day. And once again, thank you for sitting through this and all of your attention.